Welcome to the first of the lecture series for the course Mathematics, Science, and Technology. This is Jennifer Siniel, your instructor for this semester. Our first topic is actually about mathematics and human experience. At the end of this video, you are expected to define mathematics in classical and contemporary terms and also to identify the sources and processes involved in the formation of mathematical concepts. Okay, now for the concept of mathematics, it actually started as a general knowledge. Okay, then it evolved into a specialized knowledge, and then now it is considered as a universal language. Okay, when we say mathematics, some of you might be frightened by the term because, well, mathematics involve a lot of computations, a lot of formulas, equations. Sometimes it is hard for us. Okay, siguro yung iba, they would love mathematics. But some, they actually fear mathematics kasi nga ang daming computations na ginagawa. Okay? But history would tell us that mathematics is actually a very diverse branch. Okay? Initially, it is considered as a universal knowledge. So, brief history lang tayo. Mathematics actually came from the Greek word mathematikos. Okay? It means something that has been learned or understood, and it is actually knowledge acquired by learning. Okay? So, mathematics would be an easier subject actually because you acquire it by example. Okay? So mathematics is also considered as a way of life, generally. Okay? For example, the Pythagoreans or those mathematicians who lived during the Pythagorean period or kasabayan or contemporary ni Pythagoras, they had this group. Meron silang general graduate program for adults. Okay? So yung group na yan ng mga scholars, they are grouped into two. You have the acousmaticoi or the auditors, or these are the incidental members. So sumasali lang sila dun sa program when needed. Okay? Then we also have the mathematicoi, or these are the real mathematicians. So these are the regular members of the program. Okay? So naging ano na siya, part na ng activities of those people involved dun sa program. Okay? Before kasi, during the earlier times, education is limited only to the rich people. Okay, if you are born to a poor family, hindi ka pwedeng mag-aral. Parang diretso ka na as a laborer or as a worker. Yung mga educated na people before, they are actually the scholars, they are born in rich families. Okay? Now, why math is considered as the universal language? Okay? In mathematics kasi, it is intrinsically superior to other areas of knowledge, and because as a subject for teaching, mathematics was organized first. Okay? If you're going to trace history, mas madami ang nag-focus sa mathematics. Okay? Bakit kaya mathematics? Kasi if you're going to again, balik tayo sa history. Ano ba yung unang ginagawa ng mga tao? Okay? So, they are more concerned with businesses. Okay? Trade and commerce. So, doon may mathematics agad. For example, in farming, saan ang mathematics sa farming? So, makita mo yung computation of land area and also computation for the harvest time, may mathematics din doon. So, it is one of the subjects being organized first. And also, if you're going to look at other subjects or other branches of knowledge, you would see that mathematics is involved. For example, in science, may math doon. Okay? Or even in language, may mathematics pa rin doon. Yung rhythm or yung paggawa ng sa poetry, diba? Yung mga syllables or yung lines, etc. May math doon. Hindi lang natin siya sobrang nakikita or nararamdaman. Or it's not really that obvious. Okay? So, mathematics actually evolved into a specialized knowledge. Okay? So, there are some of the philosophers or some scholars like Herodotus. Herodotus is said to be the father of history. So, in one of his writings, he actually focused on the art of land measurement. Ito yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina. So, example niyan, nagkaroon na tayo ng branch of geometria or now we know it as geometry. Now, for Plato, he focused on number and calculations. Okay? Maliban sa other philosophies niya, nag-focus din siya or meron din siyang part na naka-separate na yung study niya. Hindi na yung broad mathematics. Okay? For Aristotle, he focused on mathematical sciences. So, meaning, yung science na inaaral niya, meron siyang kasamang math. Okay? Now, there is actually mathemata or the courses of study of the Greek schools. Okay? So, nagkaroon ngayon ng different subjects na specialized na. Di ba pag sinabi nating math, ang naisip agad natin, addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. So, yun yung mga processes tapos halo-halo ang mga branches ng mathematics. But then, at this period, nagkaroon na tayo ng other specific branches like number theory, geometry, mathematical astronomy, and see, may math sa music. Okay, so we have the mathematical theory of music. Okay? It is also considered as specialized knowledge. So, during the 8th century, Emperor Charlemagne founded scholae. Okay, so nagkaroon tayo ng liberal arts or the artes liberales. Okay, so yung 7 liberal arts were actually divided into 2 groups, the trivium and the quadrivium. Okay, yung quadrivium was focused on grammar, rhetoric, and logic, while the quadrivium focused on arithmetic, music, geometry, and astronomy. Okay, so nakita nyo ba? Ano yung common sa trivium? Common sa trivium, ano siya? More of related sa literature. Okay, grammar and rhetoric. And also, you include logic kasi 'di ba when you create stories, parang dapat ano siya, sequential. Quadrivium naman, it's more of related to mathematical concepts. Arithmetic, simple counting and simple processes. Music, 'di ba? Sabi natin kanina, may beats, yung rhythm. Geometry, measurements of land area, etc. And astronomy. Okay? So, astronomy, yung mga earlier people talaga, yun yung ano nila, one of their passion. Gusto nila yung astronomy kasi syempre, 'di ba, wala naman silang ginagawa before na other stuff, so they are more of observing. Okay? Ginagamit nilang astronomy also for the study of or observation ng mga constellation, na-identify nila yung pattern sa mga stars, na-relate nila yun sa daily activities nila. Okay? Next, we have math thesis universalis. So, meaning, balik na ulit tayo sa general knowledge. General knowledge. Okay? So, there is the reuniversalization of mathematics by external expansion, which can be seen in the widespread disposition and desire during the scientific revolution. Okay? During this time, nagkaroon ng mathematization of natural sciences and social sciences. Okay? Nagkaroon ng mathematics for purposes and mathematics for its own sake. Or meaning, nagkaroon tayo ng applied mathematics and pure mathematics. Okay? Now, let's go to the traditional branches. Okay? Mathematics is viewed in 2 ways, as an activity or a process, and as a product of that activity. Okay? Wait, ma'am. Ano? Hindi po namin na-gets. Mathematics is viewed in 2 ways, meaning yung math, pwede siyang activity. Activity, it refers na to the different processes, addition, subtraction, ganyan siya. Or, pwede rin yung mathematics is a product of that activity. For example, di ba, yung as a product, meaning combination na siya ng mga processes. Okay? So, there is a huge body of theorems organized systematically. So, in ancient Greece, or in Athens, and in Alexandria or in Egypt, there are only 2 disciplines of mathematics or branches. So, arithmetic lang, or yung logistic, and you also have geometry. But then, fast forward to the 16th and 17th century, nagkaroon na tayo ng other branches. Okay? Like numerical algebra and calculus. Okay? So, arithmetic was then fused with numerical algebra para maging algebra, and then you have analysis, algebra, and geometry. Okay, for you to understand yung mga different branches, ito siya. Mathematics, yan. could be divided into two further branches. You have the discrete mathematics and the continuous mathematics. Okay? So for the discrete math, you now have arithmetic which focus on absolute mathematics. Yung music naman, yung relative mathematics. Okay? Relative meaning it is related to other, um, yung mathematics mo is related to music. Then we have the static, or meaning yung stagnant mathematics, geometry. Static kasi hindi naman siya gumagalaw. I mean, yung minimeasure natin, hindi siya gumagalaw. And then, astronomy, it's the moving mathematics. Kasi nga, di ba, every day, I mean, every night, when you observe the stars, para silang nagkakaroon ng movement. Okay? So, yeah. The different branches, for example, algebra, you have abstract algebra, combinatories, and number theory. So, sa analysis naman, you have calculus. May calculus ba kayo nung high school? So, yan. Real and complex analysis, vector and tensor analysis, differential equations, and functional analysis. Okay? Geometry, yeah, we actually have different views of geometry. We have the Euclidean and non-Euclidean geometry, discrete geometry, differential, algebraic geometry, projective geometry, and others. Okay? Sobrang lawak ng mathematics. Four, we have applied mathematics. Ito yung commonly used, probability, statistics, game theory, systems and control theory, and computer science. Okay? And last, we also have the foundations like logic, computability, recursion theory, set theory, and category theory. Don't worry, we won't be focusing on these different branches kasi this course is intended to give you an overview, and it intends to give you or to for you to see the relationship of mathematics, science, and technology. Okay? So, first part ng course, first part of the semester, math tayo. Then, second part, we have science, and then we'll have technology. Okay? Now, let's go to the operational modes of mathematics. Okay? Paano natin nakikita ang math? Or paano natin siya nagagamit? Okay? So, it could be used in three ways. So, first, we have practical mathematics. Practical mathematics is embedded in common life. Okay? So, when you do your counting, you're measuring and calculating, that's practical mathematics. Okay? Pag nagko-commute kayo, di ba, you would count now how much fare yung ibabayad mo for the distance travel. Okay? Counting. Pag magsasaing kayo, di ba, binibilang nyo kung ilang cups ng rice yung ilalagay, etc. Okay? It includes the use of mathematical techniques in activities like accounting, engineering, and architecture. Okay? For example, anong math ginagamit sa engineering? Diba may geometry doon when you compute for the area of land. Okay? Accounting, anong math ang ginagamit doon? Basic operations. Okay? Diba? Computation of percentage, commission, ano pa? Yung mga interest, ganyan. Okay, architecture. So, syempre, meron din dong geometry and ano pa? So, yung mga measurements. So, there's practical mathematics. Ito yung pinaka, gamit nating lahat. Then, we have technical mathematics. So, from the term technical, meaning it is more concerned with specific branches or specific fields. Okay, so it refers to the use of known mathematical techniques and concepts to formulate or solve problems in other intellectual disciplines. Example, biostatistics. Bio meaning yung statistics, ginagamit siya in biological processes. Okay? Another example would be, ang mga example ko ay science-related, mga biological-related. For example, population ecology. Okay? So, tinitingnan nyo ngayon yung population, you count the number of species in an ecosystem. So, ganun. Mas specific ngayon siya. Okay? So, pinaghalo na yung science and math or other branches. Okay? Next, we have the dialectical mathematics. So, it refers to the practice of investigating the concepts, methods, and problems of mathematics itself. Okay? So, yung dialectical mathematics, ano siya? More of pure math siya. Okay? Ito na yung involved sa mga pure mathematicians. Okay? So, the practical and the technical mathematics are actually applied mathematics, while the dialectical, it is pure mathematics. Okay? Quote lang natin, no? According to Professor Hardy's observation, pure mathematics is actually useless mathematics. against the fact that applied mathematics is the moving spirit behind all specific and technological advances of today's civilized societies. Okay? Sabi, so in short, walang saysay ang pure math kung hindi siya ina-apply. Aanhin mo nga naman ang mga formula and other concepts kung wala naman siyang paggagamitan. Okay? Parang sa pag-ibig lang yan. Walang saysay. Walang saysay ang pure love. Kung hindi mo siya pinapakita, kung hindi mo siya ina-apply, mahal mo nga pero hanggang dito lang sa puso, dapat may gawa. Okay? Hashtag hugot. Ay, okay. So, yan. Masyado kasi tayong baka nabubore na kayo sa discussion natin. Okay? Now, with contemporary view, kanina siya, traditional view of math. Now, contemporary view, yung present natin. So, mathematics is considered as a logical discourse, meaning it is mathematical science already. Hindi na siya pure math. Meaning may science na siya. And on some postulated system together with all of its possible interpretations, meaning yung mathematics, hindi na lang siya puro mga numbers and plus, minus, subtract, ay minus equals. You see interpretations already through the mathematical models. Okay? So the new definition now is mathematics is the totality of all mathematical sciences together with all of their possible interpretations. Okay? So gone are the days when we describe math as processes lang siya na involve on numbers. Combination na siya ng other mathematical sciences. Okay? Now, let's go to human experience. Sabi ko nga, nararamdaman natin, nagagamit natin ng mathematics every day. Katulad sa example natin, practical math. Okay? According to psychologist Piaget, most of the basic chunk of knowledge is experience. And knowledge is organized out of three elementary forms of human experience. We have the affective and physical experience, and also the logico-mathematical experience. Okay? Paano na-experience ang math? By affective and physical experience. Okay? Pag hinawakan mo isang prutas, for example, in the picture, you have an apple. Na-estimate mo gaano siya kabigat. O, diba, pag minsan pumupunta kayo sa palengke, when you're going to buy na vegetables, hindi mo naman tinitimbang talaga isa-isa. For example lang, if you're going to buy potatoes, di ba minsan, tingnan mo siya by looking at it. Okay? Na-assess mo na kung mabigat ba siya or hindi. Siyempre, pag mas kinuha mo siya, nandun na yung physical experience. May math na doon. Diba? Getting the weight. You're getting the mass. Getting the size of it. Mathematics na yun. Okay? Logical mathematical experience, look at the kid here. So, naka-line up yung mga rocks at pag binibilang niya yan, let's say, meron siyang 15 rocks. Okay? Pag in-arrange niya yung rocks na yan into a circular form, pag binilang niya ulit yun, ilan ang rocks? 15 pa din. Okay? So, there is mathematics. Parang, nakita mo yung logic and math at the same time. Okay? Di ba pag inayos mo yung mga damit mo, bilangin mo, parehas pa rin siya ng bilang kahit na i-hanger mo na yung damit na nakatiklop. Okay? See my mathematics every day. Okay? Now, there are different forms of mathematical experience. Okay? So, let's discuss all of these. Daanan natin lahat. So, first we have abstraction, then we have fusion and diffusion of concepts, alteration of concepts, and generalization. So, first we have abstraction. Okay? Abstraction is used in three ways. Okay? Pag sinabi natin abstraction, you actually extract the essential properties or characteristics of an object. You also idealize or obtain ideal objects out of physical objects, and you split a concept into its essential aspects. Okay? Para mas madaling yung matandaan, I'll provide an example. For example, yung isang room. Okay? So, sa isang room, meron 20 chairs. So, yung 20 chairs na yan, kaya mag-accommodate, syempre, ng 20 students. Yan, di ba? Here in our picture. So, yung ibig sabihin nito, sinabi natin 20, no? Ibig sabihin, 20 yung property. 20 yung sitting capacity ng room. So, you already extract the property of an object. Okay? So, pag tinanggal ko ngayon tong isang chair, ibig sabihin, 19 students lang pwedeng magkasya dito sa room. Okay? So, nakita natin yung relationship. Okay? Yung properties. Okay? So, pag nagdagdag ka pa, nagbawas, ano nyo siya, nagigets niyo ba? Nare-relate niyo ba yung concept ng 20 chairs and 20 students? So, property ngayon yung 20. Yun yung characteristics niya. Okay? So, you idealize or obtain ideal objects out of physical objects. Yung physical object, yung chair. Yung ideal objects, yung concept na, ibig sabihin yun yung idea na kaya mong mag-accommodate ng 20 students. Okay? And to split the concept into its essential aspects, yun na nga. Pwedeng 20 students, pwedeng 20 kids, pwede kang maglagay ng 20 bags. So, yun yung abstraction. Next, we have fusion and diffusion. Okay, so fusion and diffusion, it basically forms a new concept from different conceptual contexts. Okay, fusion, nag-mix natin. Okay, for example, yung numerical algebra plus synthetic Euclidean geometry, it could be your Euclidean analytic geometry. Maraming views ang geometry. Okay? So, yan. Meron tayong picture dito ng analytical geometry. Or another example, siguro mas madali nyo maintindihan. Fusion of mathematical concepts with chemistry. Yan. Ito, meron akong chemical equations here. So, kita nyo naman may mga numbers. Meron tayong plus sign. Then, you have an arrow here. So, ang concept dito, nag-add tayo ng molecules. Pero, iba yung concept natin. Kasi, it's not just simply adding them na CH4, for example, ito na, CH4 plus 2O2. Hindi siya mag-add lang na magiging CH4O2 as one. Nagets niyo ba? You see, there are two different products na na-form. So, iba yung concept natin ng mathematics sa chem. So, yun siya. I hope na-gets niyo yung, understand niyo yung examples ng fusion and diffusion. Then we have alteration. So, alteration is simply the modification of a concept. Ito, in geometry, meron tayong different view. Sabi nga natin kanina, example yung Euclidean geometry. So, pwedeng ma-alter, ma-modify yung concept because of other views, other theories sa mathematics. Okay? And last, we have generalization. Okay? So, generalization is actually done in two ways. So, first, we have the extension of applicability. Example is enlarging the class of objects to which the concept applies. Okay? So, paano tayo nag-generalize sa math? Sabihin natin na I'll give you 1 to 10. Okay? So, in numbers 1 to 10, all yung even numbers in the range of 1 to 10 is divisible by 2. Okay, so ilang numbers yon? Ilang numbers? So we have 5 numbers na divisible by 2. But we could actually apply that to a larger class. So i-move natin. So instead of 1 to 10, we have 1 to 20 or 1 to 50. So yun yung extension of applicability. Meaning, it's like looking at patterns. Okay? So another example is the consolidation of information from specific cases. Yan. Example natin, if the sum of the digits of a number is divisible by 3, then it is divisible by 3. Ito yung isang technique na natutunan ka dati ng high school. Para malaman mo kung divisible ba yung isang number by 3, i-add mo yung digits. For example, yung number na 108, divisible ba siya by 3 without dividing it? So, i-add mo lang, 1 plus 0 plus 8 is 9. So, yung 9 ba, divisible ba siya by 3? Yes, diba? So, 108 divided by 3. Ilan siya? Hindi ko pala na-compute. 108 divided by 3 is 36. Tama ba? So, yan. So, yun yung an example. Ano pa yung mga numbers divisible by 3? So, yung ano ba, isipin nyo na lang yung mga other numbers. Pag in-add nyo siya, yung digits, kung divisible siya ng 3, then yung mismong number na yon divisible siya by 3. Okay, so yun yung mga different forms of mathematical experience. Okay, So, recap tayo ng mga concepts natin that you should remember in mathematics and human experience. Again, the concept of mathematics, it evolved from general knowledge to specialized knowledge and to becoming a universal language. So, traditional branches, we have your arithmetic, music, geometry, and astronomy. Operational modes of mathematics, you have practical, technical, and dialectical mathematics. So, fuse natin si practical and technical mathematics to applied mathematics, while the dialectical mathematics is the pure mathematics. And last, the different forms of mathematical experience would be abstraction, fusion, and diffusion of concepts, alteration of concepts, and generalization. Okay? So, I hope you learned something from our first lecture. I'll see you in our next video presentation. So I hope you learned something from this video today. So that would be all. Bye.